Welcome back to the Boosted Ride YouTube channel, guys. We're inside the Dodge panel truck here. We're going to be working on this first in this episode, doing some things outside and inside the cab here, and then we're going to be putting that stock 6.4 Hemi block up in the CNC and making some major modifications, cutting some stuff off the block. So stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss that. And Jason, if it's messed up at the end of this episode, hopefully you can find another block, because November 18th is going to be here soon, guys. We've got a lot of work to do. Let's get to it. Alright, so far as you've seen there, we went ahead on the Firewall, and yes, I know I'm an idiot. My batteries are dead for my helmet. I don't have time to go get any, and I was just doing some quick flashes of the welds anyway, so I'll be fine. You know, my burn is a lot better, so why not burn my eyes now, right? But anyways, as you've seen, I went ahead and patched up the 3 holes here, took out the master cylinder, that way I could not ruin anything, the boot or anything on that for the rod. And then, as you've seen over here, we went ahead and patched up the same section, put riv nuts in, and got the dry sump tank mounted up there, so that is good. And then we do need to, well, I'm going to loosen up the hose clamps. It'll be turned slightly to get that fitting straight. We're going to need to add some additional fittings on here, and then turn this lower section, because we have one 12 fitting right over here that I would like to be turned 1 notch. It looks like it's in line with this fitting here. So if we turn it 1, should be pointing straight. That way we can get that down to the dry sump pump. And then I'm also going to go ahead and remove the blower and the hat here, and probably the intake, get all that out. That way I can put some riv nuts into the Firewall from the cab side out. And I want to mount the Dominator up there. And then I also want to go ahead and open up, in this mess of stuff here, we've got our Holley Pro Dash. It's a 553-112. It's a 6.86. This is the same one that we're running in burning green, and my thought initially was I wanted to get the steering column and stuff in here, but I don't really want to, not that there's any meaning to this, but I really don't want to cut up this section of the dash right here, besides with having the steering wheel in the way. So my thought is right here in the center section, we're going to measure that out and see if it'll fit there, and then we can make it flat up against that panel there. Otherwise, what would be really neat is if we had a 12-inch dash, I would cut that section of the panel out here and make an insert. We may still do that with the 6-inch dash, just that way in case we do get a 12-inch in the future, we could put it in there. Let's see, went ahead and put an angle iron piece on here for our gas pedal assembly. And as you've seen before, we've got the fuel cell and stuff in there. Next, work on patching some of these side pieces going down and get the rest of the whatever we need mounted in here, because I would like to pull the rest of that stuff back out. And not that I'm going for like perfection of paint, but I just don't like having all that raw steel on there, so I'd like to get something shot both on the inside and underneath of all the flooring. But I'd say at this point, let's go ahead, and the more I think about it, I think I'd like to maybe put it in the center, because maybe we will get a 12-inch dash at some point. That would be sweet. So let's go ahead and let's work on the Dominator and some wiring harness, stuff like that, and figure out where we're going with all that. So let's go ahead and get the intake, blower, and hat off, and then we'll continue from there. Alright, well, Nate's out here and he wanted to do a little cleaning. You can go ahead and get this right here too, bud. Suck all those chunks up. There you go. Hold it more straight up and down. There you go. Spin that around if you need to. Alright, so he's working on getting that cleaned up. He's going to get all these metal shavings from putting the fuel cell in. He's going to work his way on up to the top there. He went ahead and did the back of the, well, the front and the midsection, whatever you want to call it in here. So we got that all pretty well cleaned out. And we went ahead and finished mounting in the Dominator. I got some of it. We went inside. Nate had to use the bathroom, and I was going to eat. Yeah, it kind of dropped on me when I was drilling those holes. So I ended up re-drilling them. I figured they're going to be behind the blower anyways. You're never going to see them. I'd rather have the Dominator inside here actually look a little more level than be crooked. So that's where that's mounted underneath the dash. And I think we're going to mount EGT controller. I mean, if I can fit it, I'd like to... I don't even know what the heck this thing even is. I'd like to get rid of that thing and just keep working our way across. That way maybe the wiring could all kind of stay somewhat above this area. I mean, if they got to hang down slightly. Now you got to get power and ground to the Dominator, so we may have to string some cabling down along the side and, you know,
Daddy?
nicely run it along here. What's up, bud?
Can you put all these on the ground?
Yep, just 1 second. Otherwise, like I said, gas pedal, maybe we'll look at doing something with that, checking our throttle, and yeah, otherwise, EGT controller, I'll talk to Jason about, make sure, and then whatever else we need, we can do it all with this Holly Dominator. All right, Sunday in the shop. Jason came over last night. He was supposed to be at a concert in Minnesota. Got canceled after he got all the way up there. So he showed up at the shop here to try and help me out. And we got some of the steering done. We've got a little extra hole here in the firewall, but we'll patch that in and make it the way we need it to be. But we've got a few double joints down here, so we're going to have to be putting a rod end down in this section. Well, I got one sitting here. And then they do make like a weld-in spherical bushing for up there. I don't know if it's technically weld-in, but if we just lightly tack it in around there, I think we'll be good. But otherwise, that's all connected. Got the front cover and all the accessories off the motor here. Took that over to my brother's. We were looking at a few things there. And I don't think I mentioned anything, but we did get the oil filter Boss deal on the side of the block. All machined off. So this is what it looked like originally. Kind of hard to tell, but you know, right where that sensor is there for oil pressure, as you can tell in the pictures, it's totally machined almost up to that sensor. And we don't need that because with running dry sump, we're not going to be running an oil filter. We run the Clearview housing, which if you guys have been on the channel, you know what we're talking about, or if you guys run a Clearview yourself, you'll know. So that's where that is. And then we got to make some, so we got to drill some fittings in the side of the block. One's going to be a plug, and one is going to be for the pressure going in. So basically, dry sump tank has the oil. It's going to go to the pump, going to go through the filter, and then from the filter be pushed into the block in the inlet port. And then that is what pressurizes the motor, and then the dry sump pump will suck it back out of the pan and return it to the tank. So we don't need the fitting that would normally be where the pump would suck it through your tube into the pump, then that would push it to the filter and then back in the motor. So we're not using that. So we only need one port. I've also been working on the computer here, and Jason's getting mad, but I did spray paint his anodized black water pump backing plate from Mazir. I didn't have time to wait for the spray to do it the proper way, so I sprayed it. Sorry, Jason. But we got things to do. So I scanned this in so we can verify all of our bolt pattern. And the main reason why I needed to spray this and scan it is because normally your water pump would bolt directly onto this cover. And as you guys know, we're putting a 1/4 inch aluminum plate on this. That's why we had this all milled down. We got some stuff to clean up here. I got a hole to fix here, but it is what it is. I'll get that stuff taken care of. But we needed this flat surface to be able to bolt that on. And like I said, this is where your water pump backing plate would go. And then you'd bolt your electric motor on here. This was the electric version from Mazir. But Jason bought just the backing plate. We thought we were going to maybe like tap these holes out. And I'll go over that stuff later. But mainly, I needed this because I need this O-ring groove. So I'm hoping we'll be able to cut that either A, into this front cover, or B, into the 1/4 inch aluminum plate that's going on here. Doesn't leave us a lot of meat. But if we can just run like maybe a small O-ring band around here, we'll be good. The only place it'll meet up will be right here. Put a little dab of some sealant there, slap it on, and you're good to go. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. So I hope you guys are enjoying the updates at least. I know it seems like slow progress is being made. And trust me, I come out here every night. That damn flies are terrible. But I come out here every night and work on it just a little bit at a time. And this stuff here, I got to get done because when the aluminum shows up here, we want to continue to progress forward because, as you guys know, if you guys do projects, when you get to the end, that's when all the little things start adding up, whether a bolt you're missing or a fitting or just one thing doesn't go like you thought it was going to, and that's when shit hits the wall. We'll put it that way. So trying to just get this main stuff that's going to require a lot more time and effort to get done, have it out of the way. So Next episode, we got to get the motor pulled out, like I said earlier, out of both Burning Green and Death Trap so we can assess the damages. Hopefully there's nothing besides a shaft rocker arm and some miscellaneous stuff in Death Trap. Obviously we'll have to get new gaskets and stuff for that. Not a big deal. I'd rather be safe than sorry. A lot of money in that motor. But hopefully we didn't hurt anything like a camshaft or anything. But, you know, it's something we got to check out. And then Burning Green, you know, we've got bearing material back in the clear view. Jason says there is some additional things in that clear view that I didn't take apart, and I'll admit it. And that could be where the bearing material came from. But I do know that we're losing oil pressure on that motor. So we got some changes coming there. I'm going to do a different ring package in it. And then I'm looking for dry sump. So if any of you guys know where there's an LS dry sump system, let me know. Comment down below. And also, guys, we're not selling the merch like I thought we would be. And that's not a big deal. You know, thank you to each and every one of you guys that did buy something. But I tell you what, comment down below. Let me know you're subscribed to the channel. If you want something, I'm going to start just giving something away every episode. Whether it be a rod, piston, or valve train, stuff that's up on the shelves. Stickers we got coming in. T-shirts, whatever it is, I'll try and hit somebody up out of the comments. And I'll just do a random generator comment pick, and then we'll go from there. So, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget, comment down below if you want something.